Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope you are well. I hope you are well, not Orwell. Wanted to come in and chime in and share some thoughts. It's really situating the meta conversation or hyper conversation that's happening in the corner of the internet that I participate in and that a lot of my subscribers are interested in. What has been coming up the last couple weeks is a few things. The idea of the commons and the idea of Jubilee, which is coming from the Game B, Jordan Hall, Rebel Wisdom, Stoa group, where they're discussing how to reimagine the idea of the commons outside of its regular understanding as either the state or the market. I think that there's some interesting conversations that have been had there. Also, there's this idea that what are the origins, the question of what are the origins of this mentality of the power of positive thinking. And that's what I really want to kind of dig in here too, because I think it gives an interesting pathway into the mind of American culture as it was cultivated in the 20th and 21st centuries and what that came out of. And, you know, I was watching an episode of, I believe it was on the Stoa, and I forgot the gentleman's name. He was talking about how the power of thinking was really... Dre, come here, baby.
What?
Come here. What are you doing, princess? Did you have a good nap? Can I have a hug? So as you see, my daughter just woke up from a nap, but I want to start chiming in and thinking through the different convergences of the hyper conversation that's happening, and celebrate and engage with the ideas coming from what I see as the emerging sense makers, sense organs of hyper modernity, as a term coined by John David Ebert and Brian Francis Culkin, and try to identify the markers and the configurations of this hyper conversation, what it looks like, what are some convergences, some resonances with these different ideas, and some people that I've been thinking about, that have been interested in the last couple years or so. What's wrong, baby?
It's broken.
What's broken, sweetie?
It's broken.
What is?
Broken the bathroom.
Come here. What's broken, sweetheart? What happened?
It's broken the bathroom.
The bathroom's broken?
Yes?
What happened? Did you have a nice nap? You know Daddy loves you. You want to show Daddy what's broken?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go see it.
It's broken.
Okay. All right, so moving on. I think my daughter chiming in here, and she just woke up from a nap, and interrupting this little video I'm trying to make is very appropriate for a lot of the discussions that are being had in people's homes, and people have kids, and trying to navigate, engaging with these ideas while, I have a full-time job, I have 3 kids, I have a wife, I value spending time with them very much. So it's hard to get into it's not hard. It takes time to get into a rhythm where you can carve out time throughout the week and the month to engage in reading and discussions with people that, I feel are driving the conversation forward. I think the hyper conversation is such that it's not this old competitive polemic of, my idea versus yours, and it's my intention to talk you into my perspective or to, beat you in an argument. I think a lot of the conversations that are interesting to me that are being had are these kind of meta conversations where there's they're generative conversations where there's different perspectives and philosophies and awarenesses that are brought into a space, and the conversation that is had with this intention of generative discourse is interesting. And I think that the interruptions in the real life in the world, that being in the world that is so real for us in the middle of a pandemic, and trying to navigate the waters of having these conversations is gives it another interesting flavor. So I'm very engaged with and partial to the idea of symbolism as it's kind of put forth by Jonathan Peugeot, his brother Mathieu Peugeot, and the the Facebook group that is part of that, the zombie apocalypse, symbolism within the zombie apocalypse, I believe it's called. And, the moderators there, Jacob, Bradley, and Lisa, I respect their ideas and their perspectives very much. And they're coming from, this way of thinking that is ancient and deeply rooted in our consciousness. And that's why I think it resonates with so many people. And there's a lot of great offshoots that are coming out of that group that are interesting, and a lot of different ways that these ideas are promulgating into the culture, whether it's through artwork and music, philosophical thinking, and the engagement of this group with the folks at Rebel Wisdom, where they're taking and bringing in more of a integral thinking type perspective, where the integral perspective is the idea that there are many worldviews that have evolved over time, and the way that they've evolved have developed as such to bring us to a rupture or a break between this what's called first tier thinking and this higher meta level thinking, this new second tier thinking, it's called, where these ideas of generative and integral conversations are put forth. Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you? Doing good?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go read a little bit?
Yeah.
What are you going to read?
I don't know yet.
Go pick something up there. We'll read together.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Over here?
No, from your books. All right. So as you can see, I'm gonna have to cut this short, but the point was to situate the hyper conversation. Paul Vanderklay, as people that I just generally and intuitively, when their videos come up, I almost watch immediately. So Paul Vanderklay, Jonathan Peugeot, the Stoa, Rebel Wisdom, Jordan Hall. Okay, what's that?
Study Kids Bible.
Oh, you want to do your kids study Bible? Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
I guess we can read together.
Okay.
But I can still read some of this.
Here, let's start from the beginning. Read a little bit. Hold on, let me get your brother real quick.
In my head? Or out loud?
No, read it out loud.
Okay. What is story gonna find? Kids Cliff. The darkness night was everything, and there were morning.
Here, go.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. What page should I read to?
Just start reading.
Which page?
There, get up.
Which page?
Here.
What page should I read?
Read till here.
To where?
Till you get to number 2, okay?
It's a lot of reading.
Eli! Round out the trifecta here with the big guy who just woke up as well. Hey, bud. You gonna read with us? All right, so I'm gonna sign off here, guys. So check in next time. We'll get a little deeper into the conversation here. Again, I wish everybody a happy new year, a beautiful and wonderful 2021. And I think hold on to your hat because it's going to be a wild ride. So God bless everyone.